Oh, okay. Hey there, it's me again. Figure I'd try to go live on Facebook. Haven't done that in a while, so what the hell? We'll have some Saturday Shenanigans and Seint Makeup. So get ready with me. Have a chat while I just kind of ramble on. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. If you're watching the replay, still drop those questions in the chat and I'll get back to you on them. So anyways, how's your day going? Hopefully well. Mine is not too bad. Beautiful day here in Texas. Hot and windy. So anyway, got some new shirts, although I'm a little sad because this one has a hole in it right up here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there. And then it's got some of the ink. It's this color of this peachish pink stripe on the back. So I'm guessing the direct-to-garment printer got caught and whoever was making it wasn't paying attention and yanked it out and thought it looked okay from the front, which it does. So reached out to the company and hopefully they will send me a new one. But anyway, great t-shirts. Love them. The quality is great. The prints are great. I got like 4 of them for like $40. So definitely worth the price. Anyway, I think it's called loveandfaith.com, I think is the website where I got it. I love it. So anyways, back to makeup. I am going to put on my Seint Makeup. If you're new here, I am a Seint artist and we use what's called a 1 compact palette, which holds all of our goodies. This is an 8 compact. It holds whatever you want, basically. Right now in it, I have got, I can get it back open again. I've got my contour, my main shade, my brightening shade, my lip and cheek, and then I've got my bronzer, my illuminator, my setting powder, and then another illuminator that sometimes I will use underneath my makeup, just to give me a little bit more of a glow. So I am still using my Athens, which is my winter shade, but I'm thinking I'm probably going to need to shade up here pretty soon because I've been out playing in the sun a little bit. So, but anyway, it all works together. So I am going to start with my contour. We're going to put that on. I'm going to use my detail brush. I haven't used it in a while. So I'm going to dip into my contour here. And we are just going to put that up and around our forehead here. I'm trying to get my hair out the dang way. Goodness gracious, these really want me to stay in the way there. And put it on my cheeks there. Angle that up to help give you a lift. Put a little bit just on the side of my nose. Kind of slim it a smidge. Underneath the lip there if you want to make it a little bit more pouty looking. And then the jawline. So you can kind of disguise that little bit of a turkey neck that I got going on there. Oh, the fun. Anyways, contour. And then I am going to go into my brightening. Put that in the middle here. Oh, I didn't get very much on there. Down the middle of my nose. So what y'all up to this Saturday afternoon? Anything good? Any special plans? Me, not a whole lot. They've got a evening market here today instead of the traditional farmers market in the morning. They are trying something new and doing an evening one tonight, so from like 4 to 8. So I'm going to go to that. But some people are freaking the heck out over it because they changed the date or the time. And it's like, okay, don't go to it then. They want it in the morning. Okay, well, go to a different one. But whatever. People don't like change. It happens. I get it. All right, so contour, brightening. And then I'm going to go in my main shade. And we're just going to put that everywhere else. And a little will go a long ways. So depending on how much coverage you want, start light, add more. Once you get kind of used to how much you need for your coverage, it'll all work out. This is a system that you can actually do in just a few minutes, which is crazy. Obviously on the videos I take forever to do, and because I chat and keep going and rambling on and on and on and all that other good stuff. But once you get your system down, once you get used to it, you can do this makeup in 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how much you want to put on. I've even done just a real bare minimum in like 2.5, just to get out the door so I don't look dead and pale and all that other good stuff. So anyway, contour, brightening, main shade, all there. You can use your fingers to put it on. You can use your detail brush if you have one. I also like to use my smudge brush sometimes and use that to put my dots on or my lines on or whatever the case may be. There is no right or way to do it. It's completely up to you. It's your makeup. Do what works for you. Bottom line. All right. So I like to do my first 3 first. And I like to do the contour, the main shade, and the brightening first. And then go in with my other stuff. Some people will put the blush on and the bronzer on as well and blend it all together. Nothing wrong with that. Just the way they prefer to do it. This is the way I like to do it. And then I'm going to just start blending out. And they say to blend lightest to darkest, but sometimes I just blend as I'm going. So it don't matter. I have done darkest to lightest. I have done just whatever. The big thing is you are tapping and pressing rather than swiping. That swiping is what's going to move that makeup. And the idea behind the 3D one layer is to just put those layers where you want them and then just blend them together so that it's more seamless. So we're using this stippling action here where you're just kind of tapping and moving, tapping and moving. And I gotta say, it is a little odd to get used to, but once you do, it's not that big of a deal. It just kind of becomes second nature. But if you need to swipe a little bit, swipe. It is what it is. I have done a full face of swiping before, and it still turns out beautiful. So it's completely up to you. And then up over in these cheek areas here, we are blending up and out. Give us that definition there. Up and out, up and out, up and out. Oops, as my hair falls in the way yet again. Up and out, up and out. Use this pointer end just in this middle or the inner corner eye here, just because it makes it a little bit easier. Get the initial blend it down. And one of the great things about this makeup, if you haven't already tried it, I am 52. And I've got the mature skin going on, the fine lines, the wrinkles, all that other good stuff. And this makeup does not sit in that. Does not actuate, whatever that word is, accentuate the lines and wrinkles. Now, if you got too light of a color, it might, or you got too much in it, it might. But it's all about that control of it. Once you get it down, it looks amazing. All right, so get that blended out. Looking good here. And one of the other things that I really love about Seint Makeup is my skin still looks like skin. It doesn't look like I put a ton of makeup on. I mean, you can make it look like that. I don't. But if you want more of a full face, full coverage, you can really get it on there and still make it look decent. And even then, it still looks like skin underneath. This is kind of a medium coverage. The brush has got a little bit of give to it, but it's still pretty dense. If you want a really light coverage, you use a lighter brush. If you want a real full coverage, you use a dense brush that doesn't move much at all. And that gives you control over your coverage. And then, like I said, but I love how this just lays on my skin. My skin still looks like skin, but it gives me a little bit of coverage to fix those flaws that I feel are flaws, that some people probably don't even look at as flaws. But it just gives you a nice natural glow, and I love that about it. So gives me a little bit of extra confidence and makes me feel a little bit better about myself, which is silly because makeup shouldn't make you feel better about yourself. That should come from within. But sometimes we got to use the tips and tricks and stuff that's out there to get that within to come out. So, and this is one of the ways that I do it. So my confidence has really come along quite a ways since using Seint Makeup, which is, like I said, silly. Makeup shouldn't make you feel confident, but it does for me. So I'm going to use it. If that's little tool that it takes to make me feel a little bit better about myself, no harm done, as long as it works. So anyway, that's the first 3 layers. Like I said, you can do this in about these first 3 layers. You can do this in about 3 minutes. Once you throw it on, once you get used to it, and done, out the door. And you can stop here. Nothing wrong with it. Looks great. Looks natural. But I'm going to add some bronzer first. Some people will add the blush here. Sometimes I'll do that first, but I typically like to use my bronzer first and then the lip and cheek on top of that. This way the lip and cheek doesn't lose as much color. So I'm going to dip into my bronzer here, and we are going to put it right kind of where you'd put your goggles on. Just around the high points of your face, where the sun's going to get you, and that's going to give you a little bit of sun-kissed look. And then you just take your brush and blend her on in again. Use as little or as much as you like. I'm kind of a medium-ish on the bronzer. This isn't too much. I usually do a little bit more than this, but we'll just stop with this today. I like that little sun-kissed glow because I do not tan very well. I try, but I don't. I burn. I go straight from Casper the Ghost to a little lobster, with no happy medium in between. So, all right. Got the old bronzer on there. Put that where you want some warmth. Okay, that looks good. Sorry, I keep looking over here because my mirror's over here. I can see on the camera, but I'm old and my bifocal contacts let me read comments and let me see things, but it's still just a smidge blurry on the smaller screen. So if I'm looking this way, that's what I'm doing. So just ignore me. All right, now I'm going to go in with my blush. You can use your finger, you can use your hand to do it. We're just going to put use my finger here right now. And we're going to go just right there. With the blush up and out as well. This way it helps give you that little bit of a lift. Whatever you got left over, if you want to use the same color on your lips, you can do that. This one is Huckleberry. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. And super popular. All right, there we go. And then you just take your brush, or your brush again, and just, like I said, up and out. There's a little bit more of a sweepy action with the blush. But still stippling. Some people bring their blush up on their forehead, their nose, wherever you want it. Your makeup, your face, do what you want. There is literally no right or wrong way. If you like it, that's all that matters. So keep that in mind. Don't let anybody ever else tell you anything different. All right. So, got the blush, got the bronzer, got the contour, got the main highlight and the brightening highlight on. Got the lip and cheek on, which is the blush, as well as the lip and cheek. And we got everything all blended out and looking good. So, you want to continue on? There's a couple more products you can put on. I'm going to put on a little bit of an illuminator, which just helps catch the light. It gives you a little bit more of that youthful glow with those little younger generations got going on naturally. See how it catches that light there? Gives you a little bit more of a glow. I like to just put it on my cheeks. Some people will put it on their nose, their cupid's bow, wherever you want to put it, yours to do. All right, and then finally I'm going to use a little bit of setting powder and go right in that T-zone here, just to set that a little bit. Gives it a little extra brightness as well, but also sets that area. That's where I get the oiliest at. And granted, since I've been using this, I really don't get all that oily anymore, so technically I probably don't even need it. But I kind of like that matte little look there in the middle. You can put it all over if you want, if you like more of a matte look. Nothing wrong with that. I like the dewy look. And then, voila, we is done. So, hopefully, you will give this a try at some point in your life, because it's awesome, especially if you're older like me. They say, what is it, 35 plus is considered mature skin. So I'm definitely 35 plus, and then some. But it looks great. Great thing about Seint Makeup is that it's made with clean ingredients for the most part, I believe. I think they're considered plain. I don't know. I don't remember right offhand. But beeswax being one of them, which really hydrates the skin, which those fine lines and wrinkles need. So my skin looks 10 times better than it ever did with the traditional makeup. That traditional makeup is dry, sucks up all that moisture, as to where the Seint Makeup puts the moisture in rather than sucking it out. So that is a great bonus to this makeup. If you want a color match, let me know. I'll be more than happy to color match you free of charge. There is no obligation to purchase anything. You can use the color match now. You can use the color match in a year, up to you. So if you're anything like me, it took me about a year of watching artists use this makeup before I finally jumped in, and I can kick myself because I lost a whole year of how this makeup is making my skin look fantastic. But makeup on, looking good. Might do a little bit of shadow here in just a little bit, but for right now, we're going to call this good. Hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.